Well, how are you feeling, bud? Hey, what's happening, Herpers? So this week I finally have some good news. It's right there, and it might be good news, but it doesn't smell so good. Anyway, if you didn't see my last two videos, you might be a little confused, but if you saw my last videos, you know exactly what's going on here and why I am so happy to have a foul-smelling reptile room at the moment. On that note, thank you to everybody who commented, checking in on Bojangles over the last few weeks. It's cool to see that many people concerned about him and as worried about him as me. So thank you for your concern, but I am happy to report back that Bojangles has finally had his first poop of 2024. If you want to get fully caught up on this saga, you can check in on the hooks versus tongs video I posted about a month ago, all about why I prefer using snake hooks instead of snake tongs for venomous snake handling. In that video, you actually see the first moment that I feel a kind of hard lump in the last third of Bojangles' body, and for rattlesnakes after brumation, there's a pretty high chance that that's going to be poop and he's feeling backed up. So starting after that discovery, I started bathing Bojangles nearly every other day. If you want to see more of that process, I also posted a video about that called What to Do When Your Snake Won't Poo. But now it's time to get Bojangles out of there and his habitat cleaned up. And you may have noticed that that's not my voice or my hands, and you caught me. I finally used my YouTuber millions of dollars to hire a body double so I don't have to risk my own safety handling venomous snakes anymore. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's my beautiful wife who is handling Bojangles today. I told her I was getting ready to film, and she told me she wanted to take a crack at getting Bojangles out. She does know how to take care of rattlesnakes and can help me here and there with their care, but she mostly uses the tongs at a distance, and she's been wanting to practice her hook skills. And since Bojangles is a couple ounces lighter, we decided that today would be a perfect day for her to give it a try.
There
you go. You gotta go up to get him over the lip.
Oh, I just drowned him. He's a heavy boy.
Alright, now don't waste any time, go right to the bucket. Take the camera. Oh, that was so close. So that was a solid beginner attempt at using hooks. Hooks are trickier to use than snake tongs, especially before you get comfortable with tailing them like you just saw me have to do. So I stepped in and had my wife trade me the camera for the snake hook. Not because I didn't think she had the situation under control, but because the corner Bojangles is in is a little less than ideal for learning how to use a hook. There's the futon that Bojangles can get under, there are all the snake enclosures that Bojangles could get behind, and it would be a pain to get him out of either of those predicaments, so that's why I told my wife to let me have the hook and get back in there. She probably could have handled it, I just didn't want to risk rearranging furniture on the off chance that Bojangles did squirm somewhere where he wasn't supposed to be. And the other nice thing about me getting my hands on him again is I was able to feel his tail for myself, and I no longer feel any semblance of a blockage there. He's nice and... how would you describe a snake? Like squishy? Well, not squishy. He didn't like being called squishy. Anyway, I don't feel any blockage anymore, so I know that he's doing well. Into the bucket you go, Bojangles. I'll just carefully lift the tail up to my hand and lower him in. He is trying to come out on me already, but I'll just redirect the head one more time, and I'll have the bucket lid ready to go. And there he goes. So now with Bojangles safely contained, I'll get his habitat cleaned out. And then after I get Bojangles back home, this video still won't be done because I also have to spot my larger western diamondback rattlesnake's enclosure because he pooped right in his water dish, and that might be the actual reason my reptile room stinks today. Because as you can see, Bojangles' poo here is pretty dried out already. This must have been from yesterday evening, probably right after I gave him a bath. He got back into his enclosure, was moving around, and finally felt like doing what he needed to do. And if you're familiar with my channel and you know what I normally look for inside a snake poop, you might be wondering if there were any fangs in this, and I didn't see any on the surface level, and I just didn't feel like digging through his poop today. So I don't know, I don't think there were any fangs, and I didn't find any fangs this go round. But if that is something that interests you, I will try to remember to put a card in the top corner right now to direct you to some of the other videos on my channel showing the process of finding rattlesnake fangs inside of their poo. Anyway, this is my wife taking another try at getting Bojangles out of the bucket and back into his habitat. Unfortunately, he tried to be lying right under the futon, and that's about what you expect would happen. I really need to give her a chance to do this without so many obstacles around so she can build up her confidence in a situation where Bojangles isn't going to disappear under furniture if she doesn't have 100% control the entire time. So I stepped in again to help out with getting Bojangles back into his enclosure, and my wife didn't miss a beat keeping the camera rolling while Bojangles headed back home. And now that Bojangles is back home, it's time to take care of my second customer. Spot has pooped in his water dish, and I need to get that water changed for him, which means he needs to come out of his enclosure, and that always makes for an interesting interaction. So there is Spot's nasty bowl of poop that I gotta get out, and here we go. You can see he is sat right up by the front door, rattling at me. You really can't say the rattlesnakes don't do everything possible to try to let you know that they're there and they don't want you messing with them. But nonetheless, I need to mess with him today to get his habitat cleaned, so I'm gonna try to scoop under that first coil. He kind of pointed my direction. There we go. Got him by the tail, and I'm gonna let go. He jumped back before I was able to get his body back in the hook, and I just didn't like that positioning. Here we go. I'm using the glass to kind of protect my hand here, and I'm going to try to get him to actually seat in the hook this time. And here we go, slowly bringing him out. He's a little jumpy, but he is in the hook, and he seems to be going with it. So now I will lower him down into the bucket. There goes that big old tail of his. And head's coming back out, but I'll just catch him. Nope, no you don't, buddy. And see if I can redirect him back into the bucket. Alright, I missed, but that's alright. I'm just going to use it as an opportunity to re-grab the tail, and I'm going to try to spin the hook around and get him back in the cradle again. And there we go. That was a good one. Not quite good enough yet though. So here we go. I've got the lid ready this time, and now third, fourth, fifth. I don't know what time this is. I haven't been counting. Doesn't matter. It still wasn't the time. There we go. Just third time's a charm. Don't at me. One, however long it takes to clean a water bowl later. Hey Spot, guess what? I just cleaned your habitat and you've got a nice fresh bowl of water waiting for you. Continue to rattle and come towards me menacingly if that makes you happy. Oh guys, look, he's so happy. Alright, I got the message. You're happy, Spot. That's great. You can stop rattling now. Huh. I guess he's really happy. And that does it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like so I make more videos like this. And thank you to everybody who checked in on how Bojangles has been doing over the last 2 weeks. I'm so glad that I had some good news to share with you today. And it really means a lot that you checked in and were concerned about him. So thank you for that. And of course, thank you to all of the patrons who make it possible for me to make videos for this channel as frequently as I do. Starting with my head herpers, Ollie Ward, Amanda Lynn, Deborah Torgerson, Jane Cabin Girl, JCH, Lindsay Justice, Loki and Thor, Sierra Sicard, Tiffany H, and Wyatt Gilbert. Thank you all for supporting this channel at the highest tier level every month. And of course, thank you to the patrons of the other tier levels whose wonderful names are scrolling up your screen now. If you would care to join them in helping me make videos more often for this channel, you can do so by signing up to be a patron for as little as $3 a month. I'll get you exclusive patron voting rights, sometimes early and ad-free access to videos on Patreon, and of course my undying gratitude, along with your name in the end credits of all of my full videos like the lovely names that just finished scrolling by now. And with that, I will see you next week. Thanks for watching and keep herping.